Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hey.
She said, hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Happy MLK Day. This is your girl, Ashonda Johnson, certified financial educator and also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. And
Hey. It's your girl, Tony Sanders, also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance and your licensed financial professional. Hey, it's Martin Luther King Day. We're super excited to have you back here on Money Mondays.
yes.
Spirit Podcast Network. All right, cha-ching. But guess what? We got our guest in the house, and she's no guest. She's no stranger to our show. She's one of our colleagues, one of our business partners, one of the Housewives of Finance.
Hello.
Miss Kasinda, what's up?
I'm so happy to be here. Ooh, I get an applause. Good morning. My name is Kasinda Wiliams. I am also a certified financial educator, and I am so happy to be here on this Money Monday, sharing this good old financial freedom with y'all today.
I know
that's right.
I know that's right. Way
You
to
talking
start it
about
off.
freedom, hey.
Yes.
Financial freedom.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you guys, we have got an awesome show lined up for you today. As we said before, happy MLK Day. Today we're going to talk about saving and doing things the MLK way. You know, our former civil rights leader who paved the way for all of us to have the opportunities that we have now as a minority.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he also laid out some laws on how to spend, you know, how to, you know, make sure that you do the right thing with the dollars that flow through. You know, it's not just about Tony and Kasinda, just about being, you know, equal, you know, having equal rights. But, you know, it would be, what a travesty if he fought for that and then we squander that. We squander that in so
Absolutely.
many ways, not just as far as, you know, civil rights is concerned, but, you know, being able to stand up on our own.
Right.
That's what I feel like he
financially.
was all about, us being able to be
Yes.
independent as minorities, you know, fighting for freedom. Well, financial freedom is a part of that.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. When I think about freedom, I think about equality. I think about, you know, justice for all. But I also think about financial freedom and financial independence, because we're not free until you're financially free. And that's what this show is definitely going to be about. And I am super excited that, you know, that we're taping our show today, because it's something special.
It's absolutely something special.
And that's why,
you know.
look, this right
Yes.
here,
Mhm.
this is why we wear these buttons on this National Campaign for Financial Literacy, because we want to be one of the 1 million to be educated by 2020, and we want you to be a part of that campaign as well. But man, we got a great show lined up today.
Absolutely. So, yes, we have Kasinda who's with us. She's also a certified financial instructor and, you know, licensed professional for how long now, Kasinda?
It has been 2 years now.
Wow.
2 years
Wow.
and going, and it's always a learning curve, you know, and it's been so rewarding, just because had I not ever been connected with other people who are teaching me, not just telling me what to do, I wouldn't make the same choices as I've made now. And also on top of that, I'm able to share freely. Because, you know, we have so many restraints against us. We have a lot of just different ways to go, and especially with everyone reading, but what are we reading and what are we sharing, and are we still being confined to not knowing, or are we actually making moves to actually release ourselves of being in debt and
Yes.
just reshaping our lives?
Enslaved
Absolutely.
to
Enslaved to it.
enslaved
Yeah,
to our
we really
finances.
are.
So, one of the things that I said before, we just came back from Birmingham, which is a historical place for civil rights events. The movement, Selma happened there, and I mean, unfortunately, you guys, we are still fighting.
Yes.
As much as this is 2019, there's a lot of things that we're still fighting for. But let me say this too. I want to say that when it comes to financial slavery, a lot of us are doing that voluntarily.
Girl, you better say it.
We're participating voluntarily. When it comes
Self-destruction.
when it comes to civil rights, we didn't have a choice. We were enslaved involuntarily. I don't know anyone that raised their hand and said, "Throw me in the cotton field." And I know that there's all forms of minority problems, from the Jewish community to the African American community to several other communities. But we're talking about our community today. And I know that there will be some parallels in other communities. The thing is, there were no choices. You didn't have choices. Today, as it relates to our finances, we do have choices.
Absolutely.
And we're choosing to enslave ourselves financially, despite the messages. Shows like The Money Factor, things like our national campaign for financial literacy.
Absolutely.
We're choosing to ignore those things. I mean, if Dr. King could be alive today, I wonder what his message would be.
You know what? I think about the same thing, LaShonda, and I'm pretty sure you do this as well, Kasinda. When I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, so many people are off today, and so many people who face the struggles of financial insecurity every single day. But they put it on themselves and they refuse to make change. You know what? I think about this, and I say this in my presentations all the time. My grandmother didn't have, some of the rights and the privileges that we are afforded to today. My mother wasn't educated enough to teach her children. But today, I sit here before you educated about money and how money works. And we're here to give it to you. But you have to implement a solution into your life if you want change. If you want to change.
Yeah,
And-
thanks for sharing that. Because you
Yes.
say we want to change, but there's also a level of we're not sharing. We need to continue to remember there was a really hard struggle and people worked really hard just to make it. And so we take a lot of things for granted.
Absolutely.
And so when we don't continue to share these stories, not that we're trying to linger and hold on to the past, but we don't want to keep repeating history. We don't want to
Oh my
take
gosh.
these things that we now have available to us so easily to confuse us and then again entrap us and have us set back to where we don't need to be. But had we had the proper teachings, and it's not a matter of being shameful about it, but this is how things were, this is where we were, and keep yourself out of it. But I think along the way we've just gotten confused and just muddled with just trying to have stuff, and
Societal
that's where
standards.
yes, and then
You
that's where
know,
we've gotten trapped.
I just want to say societal standards. I mean, and they're all around us.
Yep.
They're, when you pick up your phone, they're on billboards, they're on TV, they're
Radio,
everywhere.
everywhere.
And, it goes back to, just being able to understand where you are, where you want to be, and not letting your mind be infiltrated by society.
That's real good.
And its standards. Man, we've got to unlearn a lot of things. And so we're going to start by today's show.
Yeah, I'm really
Yay.
excited, you guys, because you know what? As you were talking about 2 years, I'm thinking there's 17 years of experience
Sitting
right
at
here.
this table. 17
years of experience sitting
Yes.
right here at this table.
Can we have some applause
Yes.
on that? And that means something. That absolutely means something. And not to mention, we're talking about 17 years of African American women experience sitting at
Absolutely.
this table. So that's a big deal. There was several movements for, of course, civil rights, but then there were several movements for women. And so women are being able to be afforded opportunities that we didn't have before too. I know I sent you the message this morning.
Right.
We have a new candidate for presidency in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And man, African American woman, rooted from African American. Her dad was African American, I think, her mom and her dad was Indian. But once you have a little bit of African American in you African American,
right?
But anyway, we're not here to make this about political issues. But money is involved in everything,
absolutely,
and happens to be politically involved. So let's jump right into this morning's article, the very first one that we're going to do. Tony, would you start us off? We're going to talk about what?
I love that picture. So, man, if you can see this picture, you already know Martin Luther King Jr.'s advice on a smart way to spend money. Yes, look at that. All right now. Civil rights leader caution against keeping up with the Joneses. I love that because you know what? My last name isn't Jones, and a lot of your last name isn't Jones either. Martin Luther King Jr., he left his mark on American history preaching about equality, but his rousing words sometimes, contain tips on how to budget and save. In his sermon delivered exactly 2 months before his assassination on April 4th, 1968, 21 days before my birthday, King warned about the dangers of spending too much on cars, on houses, and said that keeping up with the Joneses could be a destructive force, the sermon included. Do you ever see people buy cars that they cannot even begin to buy in terms of their income? You've seen people riding around in Cadillacs and Chryslers who don't even earn enough to have a good T-model Ford. Make it plain. But it feeds a repressed ego. Economics tells us that your automobile should not cost more than half of your annual income. So if you make an income of $5,000, your car shouldn't cost more than about $2,500. That's just good economics. But so often, haven't seen people making $5,000 a year and driving a good car that's cost $6,000, and they wonder why their ends never meet. That's a fact. Man, we could put it right there. Hey, drop the mic, whatever you want to say it, because today in 2019, we are still making those bad financial decisions. You don't even own a home, but yet and still your car is worth more than where you're living.
Ouch. Yeah, well, but that, hey, that's like, again, well, like I said, the societal standards.
Absolutely.
Because when you get out of college, I have to just share a little bit of information, and I do want to get her on the show here because we had a very healthy conversation. And this person got a job, was offered a job, and it was fair, decent coming out of college income. But already it's like, I gotta move to the Galleria, or I gotta get this. You can't afford that.
You can't afford it.
You're going to have to bring it all the way down. You can't afford that. So we did an exercise, and after we, it was a reality check. She's like, wow, I'm so glad I had this conversation. Yes, because first of all, our living is already taking up the majority of our income. And society tells us we shouldn't be living in anywhere that's cheaper. We need the loft. And then if you got to have the loft, you got to furnish the loft.
So what do we say all the time, LaShonda? What do we say, Kasinda? Most people are living above their means. We buy things with money we don't have to impress people who don't even care.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And
like you said, societal. Mm-hmm. Society is telling us that you need to have this, you can afford it. I mean, get it.
You ain't gonna get it right now, but what we will get is our first sponsor, which is Elite Dental Wellness.
This show should have been live for the whole day.
Can we do that?
This is such an important show. Okay, so I don't want any commercials. I want people to get exactly what they came for today.
Okay, I don't know about the commercials, but we can make it a whole live show. But we gotta say Elite Dental Wellness. I mean, that's our sponsor. They pay the bills, okay? Tony, everybody out. Okay, so this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. And their vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and a friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Pertise and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Pertise at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680.
Love it. You know what I was thinking about when you was reading that? It's a shame that they will go and buy an expensive car, but they don't even have health care so that they can go see Dr. Pertise.
Ain't that something that's true?
Hello,
That's
somebody. You can agree with me or you can disagree, but the truth is the truth.
But the truth is the truth. And people just feel like they're not going to get sick. I'm healthy. It's not going to happen to me.
Right.
You know, especially coming from a millennial perspective. Do you guys think about healthcare? I mean, what's the deal with that?
I think it's something, unfortunately, we just handle it when it comes. And as you're over here with the ad talking about comfort, it's uncomfortable when you all of a sudden don't have any money to sustain the lifestyle that you've built because you might lose your job overnight and you haven't prepared or budgeted, talk about the freedom budget. What happens when you need to get yourself sick or to the doctor or you no longer have those health benefits that you just took for granted and thinking that they were there for you.
Because they sure don't want that expensive car, right?
Oh, no. You can't pay for your bills with that car, and it's even harder to get out of it.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I think that's our generation. I know we were talking before the show. You were talking about having a conversation at church. Tell us about the conversation.
Oh, yes. Understanding the value of a dollar, and we just don't have the same dollar anymore. We look, and I know I've had this issue with not an issue with my mom, but it's like, how is it that I was making the same amount as you and I could barely afford myself, but you raised us 4 girls on it? And so at church, he was talking about, being able to, making sure that you have certain money saved aside, set aside, taking care of the community, helping one another. And because you don't know when somebody may need it. But
helping one another.
Right. Oh, yeah. They did help one another at some point.
Oh, they did. But nowadays, what's that?
Well, even back then, okay, so we're buying some extra rice. Excuse me, can I get some rice? Rice? We eating rice now?
Yeah, remember when we used to borrow eggs from the neighbor? Sugar, a cup of sugar,
and
some
he
oil.
did say that. And he was talking about.
You don't even know your neighbor.
Right. Oh, I don't.
And they might put some in your sugar.
Like, be more sugar than you wanted.
Yes.
But he was saying how, he would get $1 from his mom. And, of course, make sure you tithe and, give 10 to God and you put, some in your savings. And then, you go buy a pickle and you buy a moon pie. And luckily, I'm a little older, but I think there's going to be a point where we don't know what moon pies are. And he did say now and laters. But now and laters, we still have those. But inflation has hit now and laters. He was talking about 5 cents. I think
they're not penny candy anymore.
No,
yeah.
exactly.
I used to, my brother and I, we used to collect bottles. You remember the soda bottles? Mm-hmm. And we would take the soda bottles.
And you would get some
and
money.
get money. And that's how we bought our junk food. And then my uncles, when they gave us money, we would put it in a scrapbook and save it for the ice cream truck.
Wow.
Because my grandmother, she would give us money for the ice cream truck, but she have the money stored away in so many places the ice cream truck is gone.
You only have tell that story.
You have a
short
come
by real quick
period of time to get to the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And there's still some ice cream trucks, floating around now. But you guys, the moral of the story is the dollar is shrinking. Our habits need to be improving. So we need to understand how to make the dollar stretch. And unfortunately, like you said, people don't know how to, they're not looking at how to stretch the dollar. They're looking at how to get another dollar, to add to the dollar, to spend. It's not about saving anymore.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with us. Why don't we want better? I just don't get it.
That's the biggest thing that, every day we try to figure it out. Why aren't we doing better? It seems like, the more educated we are, and the more money we make, the further back we get because of, the tangible things that we think that we need to have. And, are you willing to be uncomfortable today so that you can live the way you want to live later? People plan for a lot of things, but they're not planning for the future,
And then we get offensive. We get offended. When these conversations come up, and all of us know our situation. We know our situation. You just have to be open to changing your mind about the way you're dealing with money. We're not talking about anything here that is harmful.
Right.
This is not harmful. This is only going to put you in a position of strength financially. And it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you to do something a little bit different with your money so that you can be, more at an advantage and not be on the defense. We're always on the defense.
Right. We love to show what we have, but at this rate, I'm trying to say, I actually have a rainy day savings for the future, and just trying to change the water cooler conversation. And there's a lot of mistakes that we've made, that I've made, and I'm really trying to constantly remap and make sure I don't fall back. I can't unlearn what I've learned. And, talking and being around the people who are actually saying, hey, this is the direction that you want to go, has just made huge impacts in my life and the decisions that I make. Obviously we have habits. We can't change them overnight, but we can definitely listen to the advice. Like you said, it's not harmful. What's the harm in actually being modest in the things that you do? You can't go everywhere, staycations. Nothing's wrong with a staycation. Right. We love to travel, but traveling and then you come back and you're like, oh, I still have rent to pay. And like you said, it's basic arithmetic.
Let me ask you guys a question before we go on. Do you think that, I know that we've made a lot of, strive, and some things we're still working on. And what do you think? How would Dr. Martin Luther King feel today with the state that we're in? And I want to talk from a financial standpoint, because those words were shared many, many years ago. But it still holds true today of how we spend money, how we don't appreciate the dollar, and how we continue to buy. We're the number one consumer, but we're the worst saver. We don't invest. We like tangible things. We want to look good. We want to drive a nice car. You don't even own property. I want to know what would he really think today, because we're still doing making the same mistakes over and over again.
Just in a larger volume.
In a larger volume.
Yeah.
You make more money, you spend more.
He had a great quote, and I'm going to read this just because, I think it is so relevant today, and he was trying to push this back in the 60s. There is nothing in the world greater than freedom. It is worth paying for. It is worth losing a job for. It is worth going to jail for. I'd rather be a free pauper than a rich slave. Going back to, we are enslaved to our money.
To debt.
I would rather die in abject poverty with my convictions than live in inordinate riches with a lack of self-respect. So we're over here looking like we're being rich, but we're cash poor. We can't move. We can't sleep because we're trying to keep up with what we have. We're dying a very slow death just to look a certain way. And going to jail, with yourself in your life, you're in jail just trying to make one thing pay for another thing.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right. And so it's like that metaphor of being in poverty versus a rich slave. Every paycheck you make, you pay an American Express, Visa, you owe. I'm wanting to own my money. I want to now change the conversation and saying, I want to own my money. I can, start to be more conservative today to make sure I have that freedom later on in the future, so I can sleep well and take care of my family and make sure that I'm free.
Yes. And I'm happy that you said that, because you guys, one thing I want to clear up is that being disciplined with your finances does not mean that you cannot have nice things.
No, not at all.
We've never, ever, ever said that. And I don't even think Dr. King is saying that. We're saying that we need to be wise with our finances. And it's funny how when you're wise with your finances, you're able to do things with more freedom, without the bondage, And when you think differently about money, certain things that you felt were important, all of a sudden those things don't become important anymore
to you.
I mean, let's look at people that have, and the people that have, some of the things that are so important to us, they're not important to them. They don't care about those things. So, it's time for the second ad.
Okay. Man, this is deep.
Yeah, it was moving.
Yes, I'm like, yes, I am in tune to this show today.
That's on you, Tony.
All right, so this show, this portion of the show is being sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting a business? You should. Are you looking for a place to advertise? Do you need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Yes. Boom.
But you know what? Hey, and that's another thing. People who are off work and, we can agree to disagree, but this is a perfect time for everybody to start a business, to become an entrepreneur. People say, well, everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Well, you have to have multiple streams of income. And one income today is not enough. Even if you're just living just a basic life, it's not enough. And then life happens. Are you prepared for those what ifs? It's not a matter of if, it's when.
And the inflation of life. I know every time I renew a lease, I'm like, wait, where'd you get this? I'm not making any more money.
Oh, my God.
But y'all keep adding it on. I said, I need to get me an apartment complex.
I mean, hello. Not even just a little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys, I mean, nowadays, it's actually, if you don't have an additional stream of income, and that additional stream is coming from a resource of your own, which means a talent of your own that you've developed into some type of profitable business, then it's just more of the same. It's just more of the same. The return on investment of your time is better spent when you're utilizing the skill or talent that you have and you're being able to monetize it or learn a skill. I learned that from my dad until he was in his late years. He was learning something. He would call me, I'm gonna start another business. I was like, you need to sit down somewhere. But literally all the way until he was 80, he was learning something.
Have you all seen this video? I believe it's with Soldier Boy. And one point that he made that I really liked, and he was telling the lady said, why do you have so many businesses? And he says, why don't you?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's nothing wrong with that. We teach our community, in the African American community, we teach our children to go to school, get an education, and work for somebody else. Why can't we be the person who is the person employer, that we employ other people? Right. Why do we always have to go and work for somebody?
And even in the way that the times are today, with people being out of work, even if it's a hobby, like you said, if you could monetize it, when you lose your job or you're furloughed, you have something to fall back on.
You have something to fall back on.
Yeah. And too, in addition to that, I mean, we all know that. I mean, I don't know anyone that's completely happy with their income at work, and it makes all
what do we say,
meet.
LaShonda? Are we paid what we worth? No. Are you paid what you're worth?
So it's nothing wrong with it. So we've just got to stop, looking at the negative side of everything, and start seeing the positive. That's one thing that I appreciated about Dr. King, is that he fought for a lot of things, and you asked the question, what would he say today if he were here? I just feel like it's in my spirit to say that he would not be happy with what we've done he would be happy as far as what we've been able to accomplish thus far, but I don't feel like he would feel like we've arrived. And I think that in lots of cases, we feel like we've arrived financially when we have not arrived. And we really need to take that at face value.
I 100% agree with exactly what you said. Most people thinking that they have arrived and they have not yet
in
arrived.
So many areas we have not arrived, but we're behaving
as if we've
such.
Made it.
And because of that, to me it's pushing us further back. And so I think we really need to work on being able to be realistic and see things for what they are, even in our personal finances, you know. And that's something that the three of us sitting here at this table, we're not talking about something that we don't practice ourselves. You know, I was having a conversation with someone the other day. I was like, I just don't look at things the same way I look at things. I don't behave the way I used to behave. Man, I'm mad when I don't have money to save. I mean, it's like, if I'm not saving more, this is 2019. I know I discussed my goals with you. I've discussed them with you. I'm like, I want to save, you know, $100,000 this year. That's my goal.
Right.
And so, and people are like, how you gonna do that? Well, first of all, I'm a business owner, so I can put in personal efforts that would actually produce that type of income. I put myself in a position that I can earn enough money so that I can save enough money, but a job will never give me that opportunity.
No matter how much you work, you cannot control what they pay you.
Absolutely.
And when what they pay you is what they pay you, and who knows how long that's what it's going to be.
And they're able to give you that pink slip whenever.
Yeah, just when you feel like things are, I got things on you know, on track, things are looking good, you know, you can get laid off.
Shackles.
Oh my gosh.
Laid off, shut down, shut out, however you want to call it.
We cannot be comfortable. Here's the one thing I know for sure, that I can only fire me, and I don't plan on getting rid of me. I'm the key man.
All right.
I'm not letting go of me, you know. And so long as I'm alive and I'm, you know, God gives me strength, I can get out there and I can determine my worth by my effort.
Absolutely.
That's a wonderful thing.
That's a wonderful feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a wonderful feeling.
It's called freedom.
It is called freedom.
That is a little bit of freedom, but you know what you're working for.
Exactly. And speaking of freedom, we need you guys to go and subscribe to the Sphere, okay? We want you to go do that this second right now, because normally on Mondays, you know, Facebook Live expires. We're going to take it all the way in today, but we need you to go there and subscribe. Then we need you to share this show. Please share the show. If you're watching us right now, share this show. This is very important. You know, we've got to reach the masses. If you guys looked at the picture in that article we just shared, look at the masses of people that Dr. King was able to reach. And he reached those people by going from city to city, state to state. Well, today we have the luxury of social media that gets us from city to city and state to state, into home, into people's lives through social media. So we need you to share the show. We don't know who you know, and we don't know who they know. So share the show. Then if you could, please go over to iTunes, and we'd like you to write a review. Tell us what you think. Constructive criticism and accolades are accepted. We do bring this show to you completely complimentary. But we would like for you to give. You know, we're going to talk about that too on another show. You can become a regular donation patron, or you can donate one time. Either way, we'd like it or love it. Here's the link. Go ahead and do that right now. If you appreciate what we do for you, then donate. Okay? Go do that right now.
I appreciate y'all.
Okay, so do we have anything else in that article? Let's jump back into that.
How about Kasinda? You want to take it? Yeah, Kasinda.
So let's see. King went on to say that economists had advised spending no more than twice your annual income on a new house. The advice would be impossible for many Americans to follow these days, as home price increases have far outpaced income gains in many cities, making mortgage payments unaffordable in half of the country's largest housing markets. Now that right there is very heartbreaking when you go to these places that, like, I'm from California, from San Francisco, Oakland, and it is heartbreaking how quickly over the last few years when I go back to see how many people have either had to move out because they can't afford the house that they used to be in, or they can't afford a house at all. And we're over here again going to work to try to just live, have our basic living needs met. And you think, I live in a thriving city, this is what I have today, gone tomorrow. And then also inflation, as we keep on talking about, so what are these houses that we're able to afford? Then we have people flocking into cities that we should be able to afford. And then now, the control of that is now being blown off the roof, even here in Houston. So it's like when we want something, about time we want it, we've put ourselves so far back to where we're having to crawl ourselves out of a hole. So it's just, keeping your goals in mind. You want to own a house, that is the dream. But again, just because you can afford or you get approved for this amount, don't get something that sucks up that whole $300,000.
I call it being house poor.
Yeah.
House poor.
Right. You still have to furnish it too. And you still have to pay taxes. There's a lot that goes in it. And again, make sure that you get yourself aligned with the proper people to give you the reality, the professionals.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say. You've got to sit down with someone like the three of us to make sure you have a plan going into that, because you need that outside party to say, okay, yeah, they approved you. I mean, I remember when I got approved for my first home, and I was like, you guys, that sounds great, but I can't afford that.
Right.
I know what it looks like
Right.
on paper, but in my reality, no, and it goes back to us living in our reality. So you've got to reach out to us so that we can give you a strategy, a personal financial strategy. Everybody's strategy is different. Everybody's strategy is important.
Right.
And everybody should have one. If you're walking around here managing life without a strategy and without a plan, shame on you. Okay? You've got to reach out to us. I'm LaShonda J at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
And I'm Tony S at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
And I'm kasinda.williams at gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how else can you guys reach us? Well, you can call us at 1-844-700-4463 to schedule an appointment. The appointments are complimentary. You can text us. You can text ASK, ASKHHOF, all one word, to 31996. And we can respond that way. Or how else can they reach us, Tony?
Hey, you can reach us on our website, www.hhofinance.com. You can scroll all the way down to schedule your annual review or schedule just a personal financial strategy session. Take advantage of this. This is the perfect time of the year to take advantage of your personal financial strategies. But guess what? You can also reach us on social media outlets. That's Instagram. We're on Meetup. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, of course, as the Houston Housewives of Finance Official. If it doesn't say official,
it's not us.
So yes, get in contact with us. It's very important. I want to make mention of something I saw today, and I was like, interesting how people say, people are just capitalizing on, the shutdown and stuff like that. And it made me think. I was like, first of all, we give a lot, and we don't get paid to do it. We do it because we know that we want to be a resource to the community. And if we don't do it, who's going to do it? We take all the excuses for you off the table. You can't afford a financial strategy because it's $500 to $1,000 just to sit down and have a conversation. Oh, let's back up. You don't have $250,000 worth of assets, so they won't even entertain a conversation with you. So I suggest that you all contact us. Sit down. Let's have that conversation. These conversations are tough, and I know they don't feel good, but everything that is not going to feel good.
No.
We're always looking for stuff to feel good.
Right. And how about the fact that we're bringing it to you? How many people are offering this to you, coming to you, asking you, let us help you? So take advantage of it. It's complimentary. Do what you will with it. Of course, we're here to advise you, but at the end, there's no reason why you should be skeptical of something that is going to help you understand and bring things in a fashion to where it's understandable, but it's relevant.
It's not going to hurt
And it's
you.
powerful.
It's not going to hurt you. It's going to help you. You know, our parents used to tell us, I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. I'm not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt you. This is not going to hurt you. It may hurt, but it does not hurt you.
Truth hurts
Okay?
Hey,
sometimes.
what did Mama say? It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. But hey, guess what? This is gonna hurt too. This portion of the show is being sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowered movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at kogpassion.com. That's kogpassion.com, and use the coupon code DOPE, DOPE, exclamation point, for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast.
You know what I'm saying?
We see what you're saying.
When I think about KG, I think about Martin Luther King. I believe that she is truly on a movement for inclusion and diversity, and she's doing an awesome job.
Yes. Round of applause to KG. Yes.
Awesome.
Because of her, we're here. Yeah, she thought of us. You know, when it comes to the money factor, man, I tell you, this is our 129th episode.
Wow.
We've been talking to you guys a lot about money for a long time. And so, and we started right around the time that our national campaign for financial literacy started with our alignment with World System Builder. And I tell you, it has made the world of difference in everything that we do. Like Tony said, this button has so much significance.
Absolutely.
In that we're trying to help people to understand personal money management, the basics. I guarantee you every day we're going to get out of bed, our feet is going to hit the floor, and we're going to make a decision about money. But most are making those decisions without the proper knowledge. That's what our national campaign for financial literacy is all about, being able to equip you to become your own money manager, you know, and our mission to educate 1 million people. You know, we plan to do a march as well. In 2020.
2020.
Man, we got to
That's
start.
a powerful year.
That's a 2020 is going to be a powerful year.
Absolutely.
But you will not be able to participate in that if you don't change now. You've got to take action now. So you've got to get out to our workshops. Let me tell you where they're located. We've got several locations here in the city and throughout the U.S. and Canada, for that matter. Still, no excuse for you not to be equipped to be able to handle your money better than what you're doing. I didn't say that you couldn't handle it at all, but what is it going to hurt you to be better? We have to strive to be better. So on Tuesdays, where can they come?
Yes, on Tuesdays you can find us at our Northwest location. That's 13831 Northwest Freeway. That's Suite 215, Houston, Texas 77040. That's 7 p.m. on Tuesday evenings in Northwest Houston. That's literally at Tidwell and 290.
Yes. Okay. And if that doesn't work for you, you can come out to West Houston on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Okay. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. The address is 11111. That's 51 Suite 100. And that's Houston, Texas. That's Katy Freeway, Houston, Texas 77079. Wednesdays 7 to 9 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So no excuse. Wednesdays doesn't work for you. You can hit us up on Saturdays. Come out, you guys. These are complimentary classes. If that doesn't work for you, we have a location in Pearland. Okay, Pearland. The address is 11233 Shadow Creek Parkway, suite number 255, and that's in Pearland, Texas 77584. They have an overview on Mondays, and they also have workshops and classes on Thursdays. Mondays at 7 p.m., Thursdays at 7 p.m. Okay?
Yep.
No excuses.
Nope. And as we're talking about money, everything doesn't have to cost money. These workshops are complimentary, and you are investing in yourself and in your future just by learning.
Absolutely.
Powerful. Those workshops are actually what changed my life. I said, how was I ever going to get this information in such an easy, conceptual way? And I'm able to bring other people and share this and make my own decisions
Right.
on what I've been given I mean, these, like, the workshops changed my life. Talk about debt management. Okay, fine. If you feel like you have a path on that, well, how about retirement? Retirement? Oh, I didn't even think about retirement. Well, what's going to happen when you make it to retirement? Retirement's here, and what now? You don't start planning for things when they get there. You need to have a plan for how to prepare for when you get there. And I think that was the most monumental part.
Absolutely.
I got old real fast in that class. I realized, I said, oh, what? 20 years? I mean, you have to allow money time to grow. You have to understand how it grows. And it's such an easy, but for whatever reason, we just don't even think about it. We just think, okay, we have money, we're making money. But as we know, you're making money. Are you saving in the right place? What are you saving it for? And if you don't have that roadmap to know where you're going or what you're saving it for, or even that you have it for when that time, that unexpected time comes, okay, well, what now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's life changing.
It really is.
I mean, the workshops are life changing. I mean, I teach them, you facilitated them, Man, it just, I mean, it deepens your convictions. I mean, when you're surrounded with this type of knowledge,
Absolutely.
you just refuse to be stupid.
Oh.
I mean,
Who we talking to? You can't ignore it.
I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I
Right.
just feel like I did
Yeah.
some stupid things
Right.
Yes.
And
over my life with money. Some stupid things. I mean,
Yeah.
that was stupid. I say to myself, LaShawna, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to do that anymore.
And you learn from that.
Got to learn today. Every day is an opportunity to learn.
Absolutely.
Man, this has been such a great show. We haven't even been able to get through our next article, have we?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
we do have another one, and this one's really good. So let's jump into this one. This one is talking about the debt we owe. Okay, now we owe a lot of debts to a lot of things, but I think we really need to listen up on this one. Promoting financial literacy among minority groups. So this comes at a great time after we're talking about our national campaign for financial literacy. When we look specifically at the status of African Americans, the data indicates that the need for financial literacy is alarming.
Yes.
Okay. So I had the high honor to serve as a keynote speaker. Now this article is old, okay, but the information is still very, very relevant. That's why we pulled it up, okay? Keynote speaker for the State of Iowa celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. The event afforded me a great opportunity to share with the audience some thoughts about the legacy of Dr. King and what it means today as we celebrate Black History Month. This was back in February. In the context of personal wealth and creation and financial literacy. So these are very important topics. Let me repeat that. In the context of personal wealth, creation, and financial literacy, which is what the money factor is all about.
Absolutely.
When I think about the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, I am reminded of a personal finance metaphor he used. Dr. King stated, in a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. Okay, when the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to feel higher. Okay, to fall heir. Okay, my context is clouding up. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black and white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note. So, insofar as her citizens of color are concerned, instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. Dr. King was talking about the moral obligation of America, America had to its minority citizens, and its idea of promissory note applies to the state of financial literacy today. So, you want to pick up from there, Kasinda or Tony?
Sure. But one thing I need to touch on is we are expecting others to take care of us, and we have to take care of ourselves and of each other.
Please
Absolutely.
say that.
And also, when it comes to that, nobody cares more about your finances than you. You can't put that on others.
On anybody else.
And it goes with our freedom. It goes with our support of each other. And it's no one's fault. We just really have to apply and take care of our finances, our families, and ourselves. So I'll continue to read. Each of us has an outstanding promissory note payable to Dr. King that requires us to be committed to maximizing the benefits of his work, which gave Americans of color greater access to education, jobs, economic opportunities, public accommodations, and more. There must be a commitment to gain the financial knowledge needed to utilize these opportunities and maximize the financial resources generated from his work. This is true of all Americans, especially those of color.
There must be a commitment to gain the financial knowledge needed to utilize these opportunities.
Exactly.
We have choices. And just like we have risen and we are getting better jobs and we're arriving to where we should have always been allowed to be, we still have a lot of growth to do.
Right.
And the thing is we get so caught up with I've arrived with also proving it, which is where buying all of these cars and the clothes.
Tangible
there's
things.
nothing
Oh my
wrong with
goodness.
us having it. I mean, I love it just like everyone else. However, again, taking care of yourself, because when all of that is done, you're gone. You're just left with what? You and a big old bill that you still have to pay.
Right.
Or things that cannot do anything
Right.
for you.
Right.
Cannot take care of you.
Like we
cannot
said, that car ain't paying for your dental bill.
No,
and
it's
it's
not.
also
Right.
it's an item that depreciates. So we need to quit depreciating the value of our life through depreciable
Ouch.
things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these are depreciable things. They're not something that is going to add value later. So, I mean, the luxuries of life do not provide the luxuries of life. They don't. So, I mean, I love that sentence. You know, we have an obligation.
That's it. We have an obligation.
So, Tony, let's jump down to some of the bullet points.
Yeah, I love.
Can you share those?
I love the bullet
Let's-
points.
yes.
When I was looking at this article, I was like, wow. And it talks about when you look specifically at the status of the African Americans, the data indicates that the need for financial literacy is alarming. Many African Americans generally lack the working knowledge of personal money management
Wow.
concepts.
Say that again, please.
Yes, many African Americans generally lack the working knowledge of personal money management concepts. For example, many African Americans experience the following. Please pay attention. Higher debt, delinquencies than any other, higher delinquencies than any other ethnic group, comparative lower savings, a lower home ownership, only 45% own homes, a greater incidence of home foreclosures than other ethnic groups, a greater incidence of predatory lending practices, a greater incidence of higher costs in auto consumer loans. Man.
Why is it, and the predatory issue exists because we have lack of knowledge.
Education.
If you don't have the education and the knowledge, of course you're going to continue to be, someone's going to continue to prey on you. Lenders are out to gain profit, and they're looking for the groups. I mean, just look at it. Where are all the
I know what you're trying to say. Those
yes.
pawn shops and
pawn
loans
shops,
and money.
title loan
yes,
places.
in the African American community.
The cash, borrow payday loans.
Payday loans.
Payday
Yes.
I don't
Ooh.
see those in the affluent neighborhoods.
No, you don't,
These
and you
people
won't.
you guys, come on, wake up. This is a thing that Dr. King would not appreciate. But we've got to stop putting the blinders on or having a false sense of security. We are being preyed upon because we lack knowledge, and because of we lack knowledge, we perish. We're perishing financially first. We perish financially first, and then we perish.
Right. And then there's the ignorance of you're just so happy to have something, but you have no idea what it just costs you at that interest rate.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's unfortunately, it's just pure ignorance. because,
like I said,
because you want to have something so badly to
you'll
where
do
you will do
whatever.
whatever, and you won't even, as a saying, foreclosing, being preyed upon. You're losing things that you
No.
that you got because you wanted it so bad, and you put yourself back.
you put yourself at risk
You put yourself at risk
financially.
Right.
People, come on, wake up, smell the coffee, get educated.
Hey, I want
You've got to get educated.
I want you to finish the article, because go
Okay,
down to
but-
the other things that we want to talk about. Go down just a little bit, and just, LaShonda, if you could just close it out. Keep going, and we want to talk about these bullet points right here.
To ensure that each individual fulfills the promissory note owed to Dr. King, he or she must know how to manage credit.
Yep.
Okay? Know how to save for emergencies and or unexpected expenses. Know how to manage debt. Know how to save and use investment vehicles to accumulate wealth and retirement income. Know how to manage risk to protect current income and assets. Know how to manage cash so that you are not living from payday to payday. This will require you to develop a budget that will serve you and your spending plan. Know how to protect oneself from fraud and predatory lending practices. Know how to use financial services such as checking, savings, and money market accounts. If America is going to be the land of opportunity, we must gain, Gain
Parity.
parity in financial literacy.
Then we can repay
Then
in
we
full.
Then we can
Yes.
repay in full the debt we owe Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
You can just stop it
Check,
right there.
check. That's a check that won't bounce right there.
That is
That
it
will
right there.
be it.
We can drop
That's
all
it.
these mics.
Yes,
Just
I
throw them
can-
on the floor.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to
No.
end this show. It's because
No.
we owe
Yes.
and we have yet to pay.
Yes.
And so you have to get financially educated. You have to do it not only just for you, but for our community and for our generational, our legacies of generations to come that will still need to learn this.
So we cannot get mad at the message.
Hello.
You've
Or
got
the
to
messenger.
You
Oh, don't get
cannot
mad at the messenger.
mad at the message or the messenger. You have got to take action. Pay what you owe. Pay this debt. Okay? Get it right, people. I mean, come on. This is 2019. Dr. King was fighting before I was born. And here we are still
Fighting today.
fighting, but it's our problem now. He paved the way for us to do things better. It is our responsibility to do the things. No, you must do those things so that then now you can actually contribute to what Dr. King is fighting for us to be. So he can be smiling upon our nation as it exists today. Right now, I know he's like turning over like,
What is going
I mean,
on?
that's not
Right.
what I said. That's
Right.
not what I had in mind.
Mhm.
Come on, you guys. Let's free ourselves of the financial slavery. Get educated. Contact us. Let us help you. Don't be mad at the message. Don't shoot the messenger. Change.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, right here on The Money
Yes.
Factor. Bye-bye.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.